So joining me now is Anita Malik. She is a congressional candidate in Arizona's 6th district, running again this year as she did in the last cycle. Anita, welcome back to the Young Turks.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
No problem. So Anita, you did great last time. You closed what, a 14-point lead? Was it 14 points that you closed?
Yeah, we swung the district 14 points. Never have been done here against the incumbent David Schweiker.
Yeah. So, and Schweiker's in a lot of trouble. He's got some ethics problems. We'll get back to that in a second. Okay. And since you did so well, the Democratic Party is now bringing in someone else to run in this district, right?
So yes, it seems that way. We have been, this has been going on since the beginning of the year. So another candidate, it's a primary, so there's 4 of us currently running in this seat, but there feels to be one that has been chosen to run, and we're starting to see the national endorsements come in. That's been the conversation from the get-go. You made the comment, bring in to the district, because this person does not live in the district, is in a neighboring district, and in fact ran in that district last year.
And this person happens to be wealthy and have a lot of wealthy donors, correct?
Yes, this is what I call a money primary. It is about having a list, about having wealthy donors. It's about outside money. It's unfortunate that it's come to that. We proved something last cycle, not only in the general, but also we had a competitive primary last time. We won the district in that competitive primary by nearly 4 to 1 in terms of money, and I was outspent 4 to 1. And so we thought we had proven something. We did great in the general, considering historical standards. Actually, the opponent I'm up against that is from the other district did the same about as me in the general last cycle as well. So there isn't some idea here of who's the better candidate that the people of this district want. It's really come down to money, and that's something that is definitely hard to take.
So Anita, the person in charge of losing races for the Democrats is Cheri Bustos, and she is supporting the person who does not live in your district, lost by more than you did last time around, even though she had the money advantage, purely based on money. Is that roughly correct?
That's how we sum it up, yes.
Yeah, okay, brilliant work on the part of the Democratic leadership again. So whereas you won a 3-way primary last time around, I know because I interviewed you, and you were outspent 4 to 1, is that correct?
That is correct.
Yet the person who was outspent by a huge margin and won anyway, apparently is not good enough to run in this race because you don't have enough money and you're too progressive. So let's try to fix that, guys. Anita for Arizona.com, Anita for Arizona.com. Obviously, Anita can make your money go a long, long way because she knows how to win primaries and she knows how to close leads on Republicans. So, but of course, look, now this is not your opinion, my opinion, I can't help but say it. It's the Cheri Bustos of the world are not looking to see who has the best chance of winning. They're looking to see who's gonna spend the most amount of money with their consultant friends in Washington.
Right.
So if you're wondering, this doesn't make any sense, obviously Anita is the better candidate. Even if you're not a progressive, she clearly has a better chance of winning this race from the Republican in this seat. But Bustos and Pelosi and the Democratic Party, they don't care about that. They care about the money, spend it with our consultant friends. So that's what this is about. Yes. Anyway, Anita, let's talk about policy for a second. Sure. What is your stance on healthcare?
I'm 100% Medicare for all. This is a conservative district, but we have done a poll recently, likely Democratic voters, and Medicare for all won out over public option. I will say the conversation in this district is how do you get there? And we can talk about that and be pragmatic, but we have to have the bold vision for healthcare. And my family has gone through this, and I've seen it with my father, who passed away from cancer 17 years ago, where healthcare was then to where it is today, and not enough has been done. And to say that we will get there without a Medicare for all single payer type system is just not a reality. My family is one of those families that's 1/3 of American families that's in debt. My husband suffered a catastrophic health event in the general election last year, even though we did so good. He was in the hospital 6 weeks, and I'm battling with our insurance companies still to this day, 1 year later. So this is a priority of mine. It's about putting pain to purpose and making sure that we fix healthcare in this country once and for all.
Look, you're a chief operating officer of a technology company, and you're still having trouble with your medical bills. The system in this country is insane. But I'm sure that the wealthy Democrat that was brought into your district when she doesn't even live there, she's probably for Medicare for all too because of how well it polls, right?
You would think so, but no. She is for public option, kind of a Medicare for all who want it. If we steal those words from the presidential race, that is her plan, and she calls it a plan. To me, that's what's egregious about that. I think that's a step. That's something that President Obama wanted. It's a step on that path to Medicare for all. It's not a plan, and to deceive Americans to say this is going to fix the issue. It is not. It is just a step in that direction. It doesn't lower the cost of healthcare enough. It does bring more people into the system, which is wonderful. But the majority of Americans that are in debt, including our family, we had health insurance. We paid high premiums. We bought into a system that said, you know what? Too bad. You're not protected, even though that's what we told you you had. And so public option doesn't help me, doesn't help my family. And it's not enough.
Yeah, and again, the Sherry Bustos of the world, it's not just about who could beat Republicans, but if you win, they don't want you to pass Medicare for all. Now notice they know how popular it is, that's why they call it Medicare for all for those who want it. The worst title in the world, because-
But using Medicare to confuse, yeah.
100%. They know how popular it is. That's why they try to latch onto it while then talking crap against it. Anyway, so have I mentioned AnitaForArizona.com? AnitaForArizona.com. Okay.
Keep saying it.
So links will be down below if you're watching later on YouTube or Facebook. Just click on them. Very easy. You can find out all of our policies. Okay, Anita, let's talk about the Republican in the race. So. Yes. He's under an ethics investigation. So this is a red district, but you closed 14 points already. This time you can knock him out because of this investigation. What's it about?
So the investigation has been going on actually over a year now. What we didn't know last year was how broad the investigation was. It was expanded the end of last year in December. We were notified, the public was told. And it initially started as some misspending with his chief of staff, some extra salary money for his chief of staff through different corporation names, but it's expanded past that. And there's about 5 different things we're looking at. And one of them is how he actually spent some of our taxpayer dollars. So through his public office, using public office funds and public office staff to run campaign events and to do things for campaigns. So this investigation's been going on for over a year. He has now spent upwards of $800,000 in legal fees in that time. He continues to say, no big deal. First it was an accounting error, then it was, point the finger at a disgruntled ex-employee, but not taking any accountability for it for sure. And in this last quarter, actually raised less than he brought in, which, he's the incumbent. He doesn't need as much as any of us do. He has name ID, but the key part is his legal debt exceeds what he has in the bank. So this is a weakened incumbent for sure. But it's still a red district. And what's frustrating about our primary and everything else that's going on, because I believe in primaries because it's about democracy. But at the end of the day, this primary is being kind of rigged one way with money and endorsements. And the frustrating part of that is we shouldn't be fighting each other. We need to be focused on the Republican. And so we all just want a level playing field so we can all focus on David Schweikert. I believe that's what was successful in our race last time. Was that 3 of us ran hard. We engaged a district that had never been engaged. And through that, we were able to all come together and do something amazing. And we're not taking that lesson. We're not learning from last time. Suddenly this district is targeted. Everybody wants to play. I'm grateful as a member of this district for most of my life that somebody finally cares that it can be flipped. But you got to understand the ground to do that.
Yeah, first of all, on Schweikert, a corrupt Republican, you don't say, huh?
Right.
I was told by Donald Trump that doling out contracts to family and friends was totally unacceptable. I'm sure that he's going to look forward to getting Schweikert out of office.
Sure.
Perhaps there's different rules for Republicans. But look, in terms of how the primary is going, Anita, I'm maybe even more animated than you are. Yes, it's your race, but yours is not the only one. I've now talked to a dozen people across the country who closed huge leads against Republicans and who's got them on the ropes and almost has the Republican beat. And the Democratic leadership comes in and goes, no, the person who did great should not get the funding, should not get the help. It should be our buddy who's rich and who's gonna make sure to vote against every progressive priority and who's gonna use our consultants. So I can't take it anymore. And look, Anita for Arizona.com. So we got to help fellow progressives, and we got to help people who can actually win elections and who know how to win elections, as you did last time and against all odds in the primary and almost in the general. Sorry I talked so much, Anita, but you got great policies and a great fighting spirit. I want everybody to go to your website to check all that out and volunteer and donate if you can. Thank you so much for joining us again on the Young Turks. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for watching the Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.